CEO secretly followed single dad janitor after work. What she discovered changed everything. Before this story truly begins, let me ask you something. Have you ever judged someone without knowing their full story? Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to hear might change the way you see the people around you forever. And if stories that touch the heart and restore faith in humanity matter to you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps us keep bringing you stories that truly matter. Everyone at Harrington Tech Solutions knew Evelyn Cross as the woman who never missed a detail. She was the CEO, sharp-minded, impeccably dressed, always moving with purpose. Her office sat on the top floor, glass walls overlooking the city, a symbol of everything she had built from nothing. Employees respected her, feared her a little, and admired her success from a distance. What most of them didn't know was that Evelyn carried a quiet loneliness behind her confidence, a constant pressure to be strong, brilliant, and untouchable in a world that never forgave weakness. Every night, long after most employees had gone home, Evelyn stayed late, reviewing reports, preparing strategies, chasing excellence as if slowing down would cause everything she built to collapse. That was when she started noticing him. The janitor. His name badge read, Daniel, though no one ever seemed to say his name out loud. He pushed his cleaning cart quietly through the hallways, humming softly, careful not to disturb anyone. He worked with a calm focus, as if even this job deserved his full respect. What caught Evelyn's attention wasn't just his consistency. It was the way he smiled when he thought no one was watching. A tired but genuine smile. Sometimes she saw him glance at his phone during breaks, his expression softening in a way that suggested love, not distraction. Once, she overheard him on a late call, whispering, "I'll be there soon, buddy. Finish your homework, okay?" There was tenderness in his voice that lingered in her mind long after he walked away. One evening, Evelyn watched from her office as Daniel clocked out earlier than usual. Instead of heading straight for the bus stop like most employees, he hurried, almost running. Something tugged at her curiosity, a feeling she hadn't experienced in years. Without fully understanding why, she grabbed her coat, took a different elevator, and followed him at a distance. Daniel walked several blocks, past busy streets and glowing storefronts, until the city slowly changed. The buildings grew older, the sidewalks cracked, the lights dimmer. He stopped in front of a small daycare center that was clearly closed for the night. Evelyn frowned, confused, until she saw a little boy, no more than 6, sitting on the steps with a backpack clutched to his chest. The moment Daniel appeared, the boy jumped up and ran into his arms. "I knew you'd come, Dad," the child said, his voice bright despite the late hour. Evelyn felt something tighten in her chest. Daniel knelt down, apologizing softly, explaining he had been delayed at work. He pulled a small sandwich from his bag, handing it to the boy like it was a treasure. They laughed together, their foreheads touching, a quiet moment of connection unfolding in a place most people would overlook. Evelyn followed them from a distance as they walked to a modest apartment building. Paint peeled from the walls, and the stairs looked worn from years of use. She watched from across the street as Daniel unlocked the door, carried the boy inside, and flicked on a light. Through the window, she could see Daniel helping the child with homework at a small table, pointing patiently, listening intently, fully present. That night, Evelyn couldn't sleep. The image of that father and son replayed in her mind, stirring memories she rarely allowed herself to revisit. Her own childhood had been filled with silence, nannies, and empty dinners. Her parents were wealthy but distant, always busy, always absent. She had everything except warmth. Watching Daniel, she realized how little money mattered in moments like those. The next day, Evelyn found herself paying closer attention. She learned Daniel was always the first to arrive and the last to leave. He never complained, even when asked to cover extra shifts. She noticed how he fixed small things around the building without being asked, how he greeted everyone with respect, even those who ignored him. Slowly, she began to understand that Daniel wasn't just working a job. He was surviving, sacrificing, and doing it with dignity. One afternoon, she asked HR about him under the pretense of a routine review. She learned Daniel had once been a skilled technician, working in maintenance for a manufacturing company until it shut down unexpectedly. His wife had passed away 2 years earlier after a sudden illness, leaving him alone with their son, Liam. Unable to find stable work quickly, he took the janitorial job to keep food on the table and a roof over their heads. Evelyn felt a quiet shame settle in her chest. She had walked past him dozens of times without truly seeing him. She had built an empire preaching values like integrity and compassion, yet she had failed to notice the quiet hero cleaning her floors every night. A week later, everything changed. Liam fell seriously ill. Daniel missed work for 2 days, something he had never done before. When he returned, his eyes were heavy with exhaustion, his shoulders slumped under a weight no father should carry alone. Evelyn noticed immediately. Against her usual instinct to maintain distance, she called him into her office. Daniel stood nervously by the door, twisting his cap in his hands. He clearly expected a warning or worse. Instead, Evelyn asked him how his son was doing. The question caught him off guard. His voice cracked as he explained the hospital bills, the fear, the nights spent praying beside a hospital bed. For the first time in years, Evelyn listened without interrupting. Without judging. Without calculating outcomes. That conversation became the beginning of something neither of them expected. Evelyn arranged for Daniel to take paid time off without officially documenting it. She connected him with a healthcare assistance program the company partnered with but rarely promoted. She even visited the hospital one evening, bringing a book and a toy for Liam, telling herself it was just a courtesy visit, though she knew it was more than that. As weeks passed, Liam recovered. Daniel returned to work, gratitude shining in his eyes, though he never asked for more. That humility struck Evelyn deeply. She realized then that Daniel didn't need charity. He needed opportunity. She began reviewing his old work history, quietly assigning him small technical tasks after hours. Daniel completed each one flawlessly. Soon, Evelyn created a maintenance supervisor position, tailored perfectly to his skill set. When she offered him the job, complete with better pay and flexible hours, Daniel broke down in tears. "I just wanted to be a good dad," he said. "I never expected anyone to see me." Evelyn swallowed hard. "I see you now," she replied. But the change didn't stop there. Inspired by Daniel's story, Evelyn launched a company-wide initiative focused on hidden talent and employee support. She encouraged managers to look beyond titles and resumes, to see people for who they truly were. Stories emerged. Single parents, caregivers, dreamers who had lost their way. Lives quietly unfolding in the background. The company culture began to change. Productivity improved, but more importantly, so did morale. People felt valued, seen. Months later, at a company event, Evelyn watched Daniel standing proudly beside Liam, who was laughing with other kids, healthy and full of life. Daniel was no longer invisible. He was respected, confident, and hopeful. As applause filled the room, Evelyn felt something she hadn't felt in a long time. Peace. She realized that success wasn't just about climbing higher. Sometimes, it was about looking closer. And so, if there's one message to take from this story, let it be this: you never know the battles someone is fighting or the sacrifices they're making in silence. Kindness, curiosity, and compassion can change lives, including your own. If this story touched your heart, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. You never know whose story might be next, and whose life might be changed simply by being seen.